How's everybody doing today? Hope you're all doing well.
Hope y'all had a great Easter with your family and friends. Hopefully you had a good Holy Week and able to celebrate.
Yeah, hopefully you guys got to have some good times with each other. I know we got to spend some time with our families and our friends, and hopefully you guys got the opportunity too, even though we're still trying to follow this whole social distancing thing and trying to get past this whole pandemic situation as quickly as we can. Hopefully that didn't deter you guys from celebrating the most awesome thing ever, which was the resurrection of our Lord. So now that we are now in the Easter season, because Easter is not done, in case you didn't know, Easter is a season, not a day.
All the way to Pentecost.
All the way to Pentecost. We know our days now. We got our calendar down. So you guys can now join with us as we continue to celebrate this and continue to work our way through our relationship with Christ, our relationship with our God, and continually to work towards getting past all of this craziness and get back, hopefully, to things being normal.
For sure. We're going to celebrate the resurrection and the new life we're given and everything from that way all the way to, again, to Pentecost. So.
Right. So another wonderful thing that we get to celebrate today is Divine Mercy Sunday.
Yes, it is.
So, woot woot. So not only do we get to continually celebrate the resurrection of Jesus, we also get to celebrate the Divine Mercy Jesus. So we are going to hopefully give you guys a fun game tonight. We got an activity planned for you guys as well, and take a look into what today's readings apply to our situation now and how Divine Mercy Sunday can still be accomplished and still be done even in the midst of being stuck at home. Right?
For sure. So, same way that we've been starting these videos and every other video, we'll kick it off with our high-lows. Comment on y'all's high-lows, and that way we are able to share and raise up your lows and pray for your highs and keep on continuing the good things we have going. So, do you want to start?
Sure. So, let's see. Probably start with my low. My low was that I didn't get to see my family specifically for Easter. They're really worried about trying to get together with all the pandemic stuff happening, so that was a bummer. But my high would probably be that I didn't get to spend it alone. I got to see some friends and celebrate Easter that way, and that was a cool thing to do, to know that I didn't have to be stuck at home by myself. So,
okay. Let's see. My low for this last week was. I don't think I had a low. It's kind of hard to have a low when not much is going on. But I guess that's my low. Still, not a lot going on. My high was I got to celebrate Easter with my family, and all my family got together. Well, my immediate family got together. We were able to celebrate. Got an Easter egg hunt, crack confetti eggs, eat, all that good stuff. Just quality family time that everyone so enjoys. So, comment y'all's highs and lows. Let us know how y'all celebrated y'all's Easter, or what went on during y'all's week, and we're able to share that with y'all.
For sure. Yeah. So now we're going to jump into our game for the evening. This is a pretty fun game that Andrew came up with. We were bouncing back and forth ideas on games, and we finally came up with one that we both thought would be pretty cool to do. This game gives you guys the opportunity to interact with us as well. And
yes, it does.
So hopefully you're excited about that. That way you guys can get some more interaction, and, not just with your family and your friends, but with your youth ministers as well, because we miss interacting with you guys, so we want to try and make that a regular thing again, and try and keep that up.
Right. So to go along with our interaction, we want to see more participation in these youth nights. So we will be giving away prizes on a weekly basis now, because what's better than prizes?
Nothing, right?
So the way these games will work is we'll give away 3 to 4 prizes a week. We'll contact the winners via social media, and then have them contact the parish office, and we'll be giving away prizes. So participate in these games, guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun. This first game that we came up with should show hopefully have a lot of good interaction through social media and through that way. This week's prizes are journals.
What?
Ooh,
Look at
so the journals that we got. So if you want to take a closer look, it's I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength journal. We also have one that's she is clothed.
Is it clothed with dignity and strength?
She is clothed with dignity and strength. I don't have that one to show off, but it's a light green and she is clothed with dignity and strength. So we have those two available. We'll be giving away 4 of these. And how do you win such a journal? Well, this is how. So this game is called Proverbs versus Fortune Cookie. So we'll be playing this game. We'll go along saying it's either a verse from Proverbs or it's something that's written on a fortune cookie. And your job at home is to guess which one. We have 15 total. So your job at home is to try to figure out which one is a Proverbs and which one is part of a fortune cookie. The way that you'll play this at home is if you don't have social media, log on to YouTube and watch it on there, and you can comment your answers onto the YouTube. If you're watching this on social media and you don't have one, have your parents comment the answers for you, and that way you can participate that way. We'd love to see y'all's interaction and participation with this and win a journal, because who doesn't want a journal that you can write personal prayers in, write down daily thoughts, grocery lists,
all kinds of things.
All kinds of things. So it'll be the first 4 who it's gonna be the first 4 who have the highest score. So the 4 that have the highest score.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be the 4 who have the highest score on this. So you have 15 possible points to win. So if you get all 15, then comment them first, because then we're only giving away 4 of these, and it'll go away to the first 4 who have that top score. So let us know through the comments, and so that way you yourself can win a journal. Cool. So we're excited to do this, and we'll announce the winners of next week. The winners this week will get a shout out on our next week's video, and hopefully they already have their journal by then. So we'll contact you through Christ the King Cathedral, and we can either personally deliver them to you, or you can come pick it up at the church office. So
if you want to win a journal, participate, and we'll have more prizes the following week, and who knows what you could win.
Gift
cards, a trip to the Bahamas that you won't be able to take until this is all done, but it's there.
A trip to the Bahamas. I don't know about all that.
We're gonna try.
A trip to your couch.
Maybe.
A donut.
A donut, yeah.
Because we all know that we haven't had Mass in a while, we haven't gone to Mass in a while. So we're all missing up on those donuts.
True. If you miss your daily Sunday donut, this could be it.
This could be your chance. So Lourdes is actually going to kick us off on this game, as my phone is using to be recorded.
As Andrew explained, you will either have to guess whether something is from the book of Proverbs in the Bible, or whether it is a fortune cookie saying. You don't know which one.
Should we set a time limit on this?
Oh, maybe? Okay.
Like...
You get a minute.
No. Like, they only have until, the end of Monday to have their answers submitted.
Oh, a deadline.
Like a deadline. Yeah, not a time limit.
Okay, yeah. You have until the end of this video.
Yikes! We'll set the deadline for Monday at noon?
Monday at noon. If that works for you, that works for me.
So this video will be put out first thing Sunday morning, so you have until Monday at noon to
guess your answers.
And get them in and comment them. Again, you can comment on our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram. We'll be staying on top of our social medias, so that way we can see who the first ones are, and we're able to give you those prizes to the most accurate person. So, without further ado, we'll start the game of Proverbs versus Fortune Cookie.
Alright, number 1. Courage is not simply one of the virtues, but the form of every virtue at the testing point.
What is it?
Fortune cookie or a proverb verse? You tell me.
One more time?
Courage is not simply one of the virtues, but the form of every virtue at the testing point.
Okay, so that's the first one. So comment whether you think it's Proverbs or fortune cookie.
Let us know. Put number 1 and then Proverbs or fortune cookie. That we know which one you're talking about.
That's true.
Because if you just put Proverbs or fortune cookie, I'm gonna be like, well, did you mean that for the first one or the last?
We'll just go in the order that you listed them.
Yeah. So you lose, you lose.
Okay, let's take it to the next one.
All right, next one. One who slanders reveals secrets, but a trustworthy person keeps a confidence. So one more time. One who slanders reveals secrets, but a trustworthy person keeps confidence. Or confidence, I guess if that's the word you want to use.
Sounds pretty mystical to me.
I mean, it could go either way. Okay? Number 3. Let me find it, sorry. Okay. One acts rich, but has nothing. Another acts poor, but has great wealth. Sounds like something I'd get with my...
With your kung pao chicken?
With my kung pao chicken, exactly. So again, one acts rich, but has nothing. Another acts poor, but has great wealth. Who knows? Alright, next one. Success lies in the hands of those who want it. Wow. Success lies in the hands of those who want it.
Very eye of the tiger type. Goal setting.
Yeah, like reach for the stars, man. Yeah. Reach for the stars. Okay? Next one. The wise will possess glory, but fools will bear shame. Sounds like something I'd hang up on my wall. For funsies. I tell that to Damaris all the time. She'll say something and I'm like, wow, that should go on a poster.
Yeah, definitely.
And then sometimes she's got a big head, so then I gotta be like, I gotta bring it down.
That's our friend.
That's our friend. Shout out. Alright, next one is, happy the one who finds wisdom, the one who gains understanding. That was deep.
That was deep.
Happy the one who finds wisdom, the one who gains understanding. Alright, next one. Be not afraid of growing slowly. Be afraid only of standing still. Dang.
Stagnant faith. Not good.
Ain't gonna go nowhere. This is how you grow it. You gotta move it. Okay. Let's see. Next one. In this world, it is not what we take up, but what we give up that makes us rich. In this world, it is not what we take up, but what we give up that makes us rich. Cool. Lent. I was thinking the same thing. It was interesting. Alright, you ready for the next one? Feel free to pause if I'm going too fast.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
Sorry. Like, you're probably like, oh my gosh, wait. I'll give you a couple minutes. Think it over. Don't cheat. Don't Google.
Oh, if I didn't even have that idea.
Well, if you didn't, don't go down that avenue now. Come on.
Remember, you only have until Monday at noon, so you don't have time to. You don't have time to cheat.
Let the Lord speak to you.
Just for funsies.
In your corazón, in your heart. What does He tell you this is?
We're not there to watch you.
So
if you're a cheater, He will know.
He knows.
And He's watching.
And He'll tell me. So I'm just kidding. It's something my mom would say. Okay. Are we ready for the next one? Or do you think that was a good?
That was a good amount of time.
Okay. The next one is, a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity. I don't quite know how to take that one, but...
I don't know either, because I'm like...
I thought a friend could be my brother.
Apparently not. You either have a brother, you got a friend.
Or a friend. So to my brothers out there, I'm sorry, we can't be friends. So again, a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity.
What about sisters?
They weren't. They don't matter.
Sisters don't matter. Hear that, sis? No, I'm just kidding, guys. Your family's important.
Your family's very important. They are all your friends.
According to this, they are not now.
Yeah. So let us know. Was that from Proverbs or a fortune cookie?
Who knows? Hopefully a fortune cookie.
Hopefully a fortune cookie. All right. Next one is, you cannot love life until you live the life you love. So, for all you hard workers out there, if you ever long to say, my job is not a job, because I love what I do, this is the time to take that into heart.
Speaking to the heart.
You cannot love life until you live the life you love.
Kind of like a tongue twister.
A little bit.
Live life, love life.
You cannot live life until you live the life you love. Wow, yeah, that was hard. So,
what do y'all think that one is?
Was that from the mouth of the great I Am, or the great fortune cookie of America?
Isn't Solomon like Proverbs?
Yeah. Inspired by God. Okay, ready for the next one? Okay. The way of the wicked is like darkness. They do not know on what they stumble upon. Wow.
Darkness.
Stumbling because they're wicked. They don't know anything. So the way of the wicked is like darkness. They do not know on what they stumble upon. So, you a dummy if you wicked.
Because you fallen.
Because you fallen. Okay? Hopefully you've taken some time to think about that one. Because if not, I'll give you another couple seconds. Okay? Alright, on to the next one. So, if you continually give, you will continually have. To all you hoarders, this is for you. If you continually give, you will continually have.
So, spread that toilet paper around.
Please. You know, they put a new list of symptoms out for the COVID, and diarrhea is one of them.
The hoarders knew.
The hoarders knew. But I still don't think that justifies them taking so much.
No. Take this fortune cookie saying, or Proverbs saying.
Or Proverbs saying.
We don't know.
And let us know.
Let us know. Is it coming from Christ, or is it coming from the cookie?
True. Okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
If you are wise, wisdom is to your advantage. If you are arrogant, you alone shall bear it.
The deep cookie.
That was deep. Can you imagine, like, after you eaten and, like, you open it up and alright, what are my lucky numbers?
I am wise.
Wisdom is my advantage.
Or
But if
arrogant.
I'm arrogant, I'm alone and shall bear that. Wow. Okay. Really makes you self-reflect. So if you are wise, wisdom is to your advantage. If you are arrogant, you alone shall bear it. Fortune cookie, Proverbs. You tell me. Alright? We got two left. So, next one is, the saints are the sinners who keep on trying.
Huh.
The saints are the sinners who keep on trying.
So for all you want to be saints out there, keep it going.
Keep trying. St. Augustine has something that he said like this. So this leads me to believe it may be biblical, if St. Augustine said it. St. Augustine's saying was, a sinner is a saint, right? Who
never gives up or something like that.
who keeps on trying.
Keeps on trying.
Or a saint is a sinner who never gave up or something like that.
I like the one that's like, every sinner has a future and every saint has a past.
That's the saying I'm thinking of. Yeah, that's the saying it was. Yeah, there is no sinner without a past, and there is no saint without a future.
No, it's the other way around.
Oh yeah, it is the other way around. There is no saint without a past,
and there's no sinner without a future. Yes.
So if you don't think you can be a saint, St. Augustine was like, bet.
You just heard that quote.
You just heard that quote. He's like, hello, any of us could be saints.
Where do you get it from? Proverbs?
Or a fortune cookie. I'm sure he visited the gypsy at the time and was like, tell me something great, woman. And she was like,
here's a cookie.
Here's your cookie. Alright, last one. Let's see, hopefully, maybe you've gotten them on the nail, hit the nail on the head on every one, or maybe you're just like, who knows. Alright, so here's your last one. The truly generous share, even with the undeserving. I like that one. The truly generous share, even with the undeserving. Sounds like something Jesus would do. I don't know about you.
Sounds like something Jesus said.
That's true too. That is true. So,
you should have 15?
15, I believe.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 15.
You should have 15 on that paper. So, again, comment what you think, Proverbs or fortune cookie, and let us know so that way we can decide, so that way we don't decide on a winner, so that way we have a winner. We'll have 4 winners. So, again, comment, and then we will get in contact with you, and you will contact the parish office. Because who doesn't want a journal?
Everybody loves journals.
Everybody loves journals.
Everybody.
If not, use it for doodles.
That's true too.
Who said it has to be a journal? Could be a drawing book.
Dang.
Could be a coloring book. Doesn't have any pictures, but you could make it one. I don't know what else you can use it for.
So many
interesting things
you
could use it for.
for.
So, comment, let us know what you thought. And I think that wraps up that game. So.
Yeah. So now we're going to move on to our next portion of the evening, which is what would be, or the morning if you're watching this in the morning. Whatever time of the day you're watching this at. Which is our discussion of what today's readings were about. Do you have the readings with you?
I do.
Yeah.
I came prepared this time, guys. They're not on the floor written in a spiral. So we've got a reading. The first reading was from Acts. The second reading was from 1 Peter. And then the last reading was from the Gospel of John.
John, yay!
Ooh. So, I guess we can share our thoughts. Cool. So, I'll share mine. In Acts, I really enjoyed this reading of Acts because it shows, it starts off by telling Acts, it talks about the Acts of the Apostles, where we get Acts from. But in this time, it shows the community really coming together and celebrating community and reflecting Christ's love, which I think it's very important, again, in times of now where it's how can we come together to still reflect the love of Christ that he's calling us to show in the times of need. And I think that goes back to before all this was I reflecting Christ's love to the people that I encountered? To kind of just to go over it, if you haven't had a chance to watch Daily Mass yet, it talks about them coming together, having breaking bread. It talks to them. It talks about how people would sell their property and split it amongst everybody. And I think about that kind of now, how we can go out and help other people. If that's going to the grocery store for someone who can't go to the grocery store, or things like that. Or if I have a good supply of toilet paper and I have some to spare, like giving it to those people who are in need. And it's been really impressive these last couple of weeks to be on social media because it's constantly shown me the people who are giving. The people who are reaching out and saying, like, I have plenty of this, who else can I help, or who else can I bless with this gift at this time? And it reminded me of this reading specifically of how we can better ourselves and to reflect Christ's love to be able to reach out to those people. And whenever we do that, we bring, because this reading ends with, by all these people that they reached out, like, that's another person that Christ has brought closer to heaven. and that showed, and and it showed me like the more people that were reaching out, like were touching, the more people that we reach out in today's world, we're touching those lives and hopefully showing them like I'm doing this because it's what I'm called to do as a Christian, what I'm called to do as a Catholic, and I love you for this, and hopefully you can reflect this love as well. Your thoughts on reading one?
Yeah, I think I agree a lot with what Andrew said, especially the community of everything going on. Like Andrew said, I like the overall message that was shared, which was about coming together and enjoying each other in hope and in faith, which was a recurring theme that I think we see in later readings as well today. But I think Andrew really hit the nail on the head when he said that it really tied into what was going on now, and seeing how the people were with each other in that reading and how people are with each other now. It's changing a lot as we continually go through this pandemic and try to hopefully keep waiting for things to go back to normal, as we would hope. People's attitudes are changing, people's actions are changing, and I agree exactly with what Andrew said. You get on social media nowadays, and so many people are giving out, whether that's monetary help, or help in terms of goods, or helps in terms of, hey, you need me to go to the store for you because you're too afraid to go out, I'll go to the store for you. Things like that, and I think it really reflects on what the apostles were trying to do in terms of their acts, in trying to continually show what Jesus showed them, that they were like, hey, like let's be in communion with each other, let's love each other, let's show God the Father's love to each other, and that's being really reflected well now in the midst of everything going on.
Also a good way to look at like divine mercy, with all the acts of charity and things like that, where I think this was a good reading to start us off with. This Divine Mercy Sunday was look at what we can accomplish whenever we show love to one another, whenever we reflect Christ's love, and we see His mercy through it all. So
yeah.
I think it was another good reading.
Very much so.
Okay, we got reading 2 from 1 Peter.
Right.
You want to?
Yeah, sure. So the second reading really, what I liked about the second reading was that Peter was talking a lot about how, I guess if I want to word it correctly, the way I looked at it was the way he talks about how great Jesus is in terms of who he was as a person, and the greatness of, the greatness of understanding who he is. Not only who he was, but who he is, which was that Jesus Christ was a great Savior, that Jesus was this guy who brings about a great blessedness and a great abundance of hope, a great abundance of faith, a great abundance of love and charity. And I like that, because Peter wasn't exactly the guy that talked a lot about, hey, like, let's remember that we give love and faith, hope back to our God the Father. Let's remember that we give Him praise and thanksgiving and all these wonderful gifts that He's given us. Peter was kind of just a guy who was like, that's God. He is ever loving. He's ever merciful. You do you great. But in this reading, Peter is really taking the time to ask us to reflect on what God has done for us, and how we can thank Him and how we can forever praise Him. And I really like that, because I think a lot of times we can forget to do that, and especially when we get stagnant in our faith, or when we get kind of just at a standstill, where we're kind of like, well, God, are you doing anything good right now? And Peter's reading today just really reminded me to be like, hey, let's continue to give thanksgiving, let's continue to have faith, let's continue to give love. And in the Acts, again, with like Divine Mercy Sunday, when we are being asked to do, like, let me show you, let me give thanks to the Lord God in any way that I possibly can.
Sure. Whenever I was looking at this reading, it started off, Peter talks, again, like Lourdes said, Peter was kind of very like, he's usually like a straightforward type of person, like this is God and this is who He is and type of thing. Whenever I started off, it was very prayerful, and like Lourdes said, and I think she did a good job of this prayer that he put forth, was just of how much we can give thanks and praise God for who He is and what He did through His Son and everything that way. And I think, again, it's able to show Christ's love for us. And yeah, so I think it's just a great way to look at this and be able to say, you know what, I can give praise to God during these times and situations like that. So yeah, for sure, that's another good one. And that brings us to the main event of the evening. We got the gospel.
The gospel.
The gospel this Sunday was over the famous, the well-known Doubting Thomas.
Yeah.
Poor Thomas is never going to live that down. Here we are, years later, and
he's probably in heaven right now, and they're probably like, "Hey, what's up, Doubting Thomas?"
He's still like, getting called the Doubting Thomas.
And he's like, "Really? Like, I'm here in heaven. You're calling me Doubting Thomas? Like, come on."
Before we jump into all that part, I really like this gospel because, after coming off of Easter, the disciples are still locked up in their room. They're still scared of, this time they're like hiding because they just saw Jesus die. They don't want to die.
Mm-hmm.
And they're scared, They just got news that he's not in his tomb anymore. So at this point, they're even more worried of what's going on. They just kind of have these mixed up emotions. And then whenever Jesus comes, he comes and the first thing he says to them is, "Peace be with you." And, and at this point, I kind of feel like they're like, "Oh, it's Jesus. Okay." But I still kind of feel like they have that heartbeat is still kind of like racing. And then he tells them again, "Peace be with you." And then he gives them the Spirit. And I think that speaks a lot on who Jesus is because first he calms them down a little bit by that "peace be with you." It's like, I am who I said I was, and here I am, and I want to make sure y'all are okay. And now here's my Spirit. Before, because I'm sure there was a lot of stuff that had to get down because I'm sure he was just ready to okay, I need you to get the Spirit because we got to get a move on things. But no, he took the time to be okay, I'm here, guys. Settle. We can chill, and boom, here's the Spirit.
Yeah. So
that was kind of my first take on it. Anything that you want to share starting off with it before the main event?
I agree very much with what Andrew said about how Jesus greets them, because it's exactly how I feel Jesus greets me now, is that being someone who works at a grocery store and it's every day, it never ends. It's I constantly go to work with this idea okay, today's going to be the day where people are finally going to listen. They're going to at least follow the direction of the arrows down one way down the aisle. They're going to do social distancing. It's going to be the people who are only there to buy what they need to buy. Today's the day. It's finally going to hit people's heads that they only need to go out to get what they need to get. So the faster we can get past all this. It's going to be good. And then I show up to work and I see how many people are in the parking lot, and I'm like, okay. And then it gets even more amped up when I look outside the door and I see that there's a line because we've reached the limit for the amount of customers to be in, and I'm like, oh, so people aren't listening still. It's still going on. The corn man is still standing on his side and he's like, hey, y'all want some corn? And I'm like, okay, dude's got to make some money. I get it. So he's still trying to make bank as well. He's trying to do what he needs to do. And it's just every day this craziness just amps up and up and up. I go into work now, and just here recently, the company is now starting this Friday, or starting this week, I have to wear masks. We now have to do a physical assessment with you before you go out onto the floor to make sure that you're not showing any symptoms. And I'm like, I thought we'd already reached the peak. I thought we were already Gucci. I thought we were fine. And it's no, now you gotta wear a mask. Now you gotta do this and you gotta do that. So it's just every single time, it's just getting crazier and crazier. And I feel not exactly the same situation that the apostles felt, but I know the feelings. Mm-hmm. I know the feelings of what's going on. Is it going to happen? Is it going to come down? It's just one thing after another. And then I feel in that moment, Jesus shows up and Jesus is like, hey, peace be with you. And it's and that can come in many ways to me. That can come in whether a coworker who's hey, you need to take a break, go take a break and I'll take over for you if you hit a little bit up in the front. Or, hey, you want to, let me buy your lunch today for you. In some form or fashion, Jesus comes to me and greets me the exact same way that he does the apostles, which is, peace be with you. And it's yeah, my heart's still racing like Andrew describes, but there's that sense of finality and that sense of, whew, I can breathe now. So I agree 110% with what Andrew shared there in the beginning, because I know that feeling and I can relate to it so much.
Right. And I'm sure, hopefully, y'all at home can also relate to this feeling, especially whenever maybe you're going to school or. Well, you're not going to school right now, but maybe whenever you are at school, we all have those times where we get stressed about something and it starts building up, and then we have that one person who tells us, hey, or hello, or the person that asks us, how are you, and then it's just when it kind of has that rushing warmth over you.
Yeah.
So I feel like, the way Jesus did it was shows us a lot about who he was as a person and his true caring nature. Okay, and then we get to Thomas. And poor Thomas was not there whenever he came. Whenever he said, peace be with you.
Thomas wasn't there.
He was probably out grocery shopping.
Yeah,
he was getting the stuff for the disciples. They were like, we're going to stay locked up in this room. And Thomas was like, I'll go get the toilet paper.
I'll go get what we need.
I'll go get what we need.
Be fine.
And he comes back and then they were like, you just missed Jesus.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? So we don't know what Thomas was doing during this time.
Yeah.
But he has this moment of doubt. He has this moment of, I'm not gonna believe it until I see it. And I think me personally, I think I get like this a lot of times where it's like, when someone tells you something and it's like, no, I need you to show me. And it's things like this where it's like, and I think I do it a lot to Christ, where he's like, hey, I have everything under control, and I'm like, you're not doing I don't know what you're trying to show me, but you're not showing me you have it under control, because I'm freaking out over here. I do this a lot. I have this doubting faith, I question it a lot, where it's like, okay, God, I know you have this in control, but I need you to do a better job of showing me. And I think it's that part where we can give Christ and God that, where we fully trust in his plan and we fully say, you know what, I know you have this, where we move away from that doubting Thomas aspect and go into more of a trusting and servant of, I know you have this.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Thomas is Thomas makes me laugh because, like Andrew said, it seems that before this time, Jesus has already appeared to multiple people before. He's appeared to other people before. He's appeared to some of the disciples before. And every time they talk about it, it's like Thomas has never been around. So I can imagine that, this time, Thomas was like, why is it that he's never here when I'm here? You guys are all supposedly saying that he's back, but,
I have yet to see him.
Yeah, I have yet to see him. So it makes me laugh a lot because it's exactly like Andrew said, I think as humans, we're just those type of people that are like, nah, I gotta see it, why are you playing me like that? You gotta be punking me or something. And so it's a natural instinct for us to be like, okay, are you just saying that just to say it, or is he actually here? Because I have yet to actually see something happen. And so Thomas has that moment. Thomas is just like, where's he at? And Thomas, what's really deep about Thomas is that Thomas goes further, and Thomas is like, I won't see it until I actually stick my hand into his wounds. When I've touched the piercing in his hands and stuck it into his side. If I was one of the apostles, I'd have been like, okay, you need to chill. I think it'd be one thing if you just need to see him, but I don't think you need to touch him to see that it's actually him. And then Jesus shows up, and Jesus is like, sup? And so I think that, Jesus is like, oh, you want to know? Then here it is. And I think we can relate to Thomas a lot, like Andrew said, in a lot of ways. We do this, I can agree with Andrew, I do it all the time to God, where I'm like, are you sure you here? Because I told him this story that one time, when I was a kid, I used to do this a lot with God. I used to make bets with God. And so what I would do is that if I got really angry, or if I was really upset over something, I would go into my room or the bathroom, wherever I could be alone. And I would just I would sit in anger because something didn't work out in my favor, or somebody made me mad, or whatever it was. And I used to sit there, and I told him, I was like, I would sit there and I would tell God, if you're real and you really care about me, I'm gonna close my eyes. And I'm gonna wait 10 seconds. And when I open my eyes, and when I walk out my room, when I open the door, or when I come out the bathroom, outside that door, you better have put something there to make me feel better. I don't care if it's a new book, if it's money, if it's food, I don't care what it is. something there to make me feel better, to show me that you're real. Like I used to do this thing where I was like, because I bet that if you really cared about me, you would do something for me. So, like I was insane as a child, as you can't tell. And so I would wait, and I'd be like, okay. And then I would start to freak out because I was like, oh my gosh, what if he actually does something and like proves me wrong or something? Like, how cool would that be? Like, oh my god. And so in that moment, I was just like Thomas. Like I was over here doubting him and like being like, not until he does something great for me will I believe it. And then I would come to my senses and open the door and there's nothing there. Yeah, like exactly. I would steal myself outside the door and I'd be like, here it is. Here it could be it. This could be it. This could be the moment. I'd open the door and there's nothing there. And I'd have to stop for a moment and be like, well, duh. Like Jesus isn't gonna be like, oh yeah, okay, mija, let me go ahead and put what you asked for out there to show you that I'm real, that I'm someone who cares about you and notices you. That's not how God works, obviously. But in this moment, Jesus has to come and tell Thomas, like, he shows Thomas who he is. He appears to Thomas and he lets Thomas do what Thomas asked to do. He's like, here, come feel my hands, come feel the wounds, come put your hand in my side. And I think that was a really cool moment because Jesus makes a lesson out of it. Because Jesus then continues to tell Thomas, you know, because then Thomas kneels and Thomas says, my God, you know, and he says, you know, my Lord and my God. And I think that was a real moment for him to be like, wow, like I can't believe I doubted you. And then Jesus tells him, you know, blessed are you because you see, you know, lucky you, you know, because you've seen me, you now believe in me. Then he says, but blessed are those who have never seen and still have faith. You know, he makes that lesson out of it that he's like, blessed are all your friends over here who believed in me and didn't have to see me, but to know and believe that I was real and that I was alive. To have that faith, that moment of faith in him, and to not have that doubt. And it's an awesome reminder all the time for you and me to be like, you know, you want to constantly see and you want to constantly believe, but blessed are those who just have the faith and believe in me. And so I think it's a really big moment for us to really take into consideration, and a really good reminder just to have all the time. A reminder to be like, hey, don't be dumb. Have faith.
Don't be doubting.
Yeah, don't be doubting me. You know, and it's a moment I take into consideration a lot. I don't know if many other people do this, but what I do it during the consecration at Mass is that I was taught to say the same words Doubting Thomas said. The second that the consecration happens, and he says, do this in memory of me, and you hear the bells ringing, I put my hand over my heart and I say, my Lord and my God, as a moment of the same realization that Thomas has in that moment. Here is my Lord and my God. Let me not doubt. Let me not question this moment. So if you're ever looking for a way to like remind yourself of what's going on, I take that as a moment to remind myself.
Shoot.
Don't be like Thomas.
Don't be a Thomas.
Don't be a Thomas.
Because you'll never live it down.
Yeah.
For those people who are out there named Thomas.
Sorry. Don't doubt.
Just don't be a doubting Thomas.
Don't be a doubting Thomas.
You can blame him for those issues.
Sorry.
So, yeah, I think that kind of wraps it up for the reading portion. I think again, it's that constant reminder of that openness that we should have whenever it comes to our faith and who God is.
Yeah.
So, comment your thoughts about the readings. Share with us. We'd love to hear from y'all.
Have you ever had a Doubting Thomas moment? Maybe. I'm sure we all have. I have them constantly.
I was about to say, I have plenty out there.
Yeah.
And for sure, you know, maybe not with just, you know, God, with your parents. I tend to do that a lot with my parents specifically. Your friends. But, you know, so share with us those moments, or share with us your reflection over the week. Cool. Okay, so I hope y'all enjoyed all that. Now we'll get into, our activity or challenge for the week. And it goes along with Divine Mercy Sunday, which the Catholic Church is just amazing and provides great readings to go along with.
Yeah, it was like they planned it. They were like, hey, this day's Divine Mercy Sunday. How about, you know, the readings should coincide together. Right?
So, it's Divine Mercy Sunday. It's where we can go out and do works of mercy. You know, spiritual, corporal. However you want to celebrate this Divine Mercy Sunday, one, it's going to be different this year because it's going to be a little harder.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure.
But it's ways for you to get involved and to experience this Divine Mercy Sunday. So do you want to start us share the activity with us in the challenge?
Yeah. So, like Andrew said, it's our way of showing mercy to each other, the same way that the good Lord shows us mercy. And we do that in many different ways, which is, if you don't know what the corporal and spiritual works of mercy are, there's 14 total, so it'd be kind of long to list them. But you're more than welcome to like Google them, but some of them are, the corporal works tend to be your physical ones, so like feeding the hungry, giving drink to the thirsty, burying the dead, the things that you would physically do for another person. And then you have your spiritual works of mercy, which are things like counsel the doubtful, instruct the ignorant, admonish the sinner, things that have to do with saving not just the physical body of your fellow brother and sister in Christ, but their souls as well. You want to be able to make sure that your friends and your family get into heaven with you. So when we want to challenge you guys to find a spiritual work of mercy or a corporal work of mercy, or multiple ones of each one, or maybe one of just the same, and challenge yourself to accomplish that. And like Andrew said, that's a bit difficult to do because you can't leave your house. So it's not one of the corporal works of mercy is visiting the imprisoned, and that'd be difficult to do, to be like, oh, let me just go out into the jail and go visit everybody, because that's
they won't let you in.
They won't let you in. So that's a bit hard to do. But we know that doing things like giving drink to the thirsty and feeding the hungry, clothing the naked, those are things you can do. So it's as simple as if you have siblings, and your little brother or little sister is like, I'm thirsty, and you're like, you know what? Let me go get you that cup of Kool-Aid. And it's you going to the kitchen and getting them that cup of Kool-Aid and bringing them that cup of Kool-Aid and being like, here.
And you tell them, I give drink to you. You're thirsty.
I give drink to you because you're thirsty. I did a corporal work of mercy. It's something as simple as that. It's not only a way of you giving back mercy to each other, it's also a way of helping yourself out at home. I'm sure your parents are probably stressed seeing you guys every day. They're used to sending you out to school for a good couple hours a day, not seeing you, and now they're like, oh my God, it's like
you never leave.
It's like you never leave. And I'm sure they are stressed just as much as you are with your own schoolwork and your own responsibilities. So if it means that you can take a few minutes to help them out, take a few minutes and help them out. So these are really cool ways that we know you guys can engage in taking part in Divine Mercy Sunday. Divine Mercy Sunday usually offers really cool opportunities for you to go out and help at the food pantry in town, or go help at Catholic charities or something like that. And since those aren't readily available options, we want to give you the option to do so in
your domestic church.
Yeah, in your domestic churches, whether it's in your neighborhood or your very own home, right? So.
Start planning for stuff even afterwards. Clothing the naked. I think that's one, right?
Yeah,
clothing the naked. Gather the clothes that you don't wear anymore. Go donate it. There's people in need as of right now.
Yeah.
Catholic Charities is taking donations. We're able to help there. So again, it's things like that where it's like, how can getting out of the normal and coming up with creative ways of challenging ourselves. And I think that's what God's having us do this year, is to get out of our regular routine and to really challenge us on ways that we can step out there even more.
For sure. I agree with that. So yeah, like Andrew said, plan for not just today to do something, but plan for when this is over and things can somewhat things are back to normal, as they say. When you're back at school, when you're back to going to youth group with us on Sunday evenings, or wherever it is that you go to youth group at night. That you can continue to work on showing works of mercy, not on just this one specific day that the church asks us to really take a look at it, but every day of our lives, right? Because we wanna be able to continually show mercy and continually show each other compassion. That it doesn't just happen to come out in times of crisis like this, but it comes out on a regular old day, on a regular old Monday, on your way to work or on your way to school. So hopefully this gives you the challenge to sit and take on these works of mercy that God offers you all the time. Can we, hopefully you can offer that to each other.
For sure. And share your acts of mercy with us. Again, there's 7 corporal works of mercy and 7 spiritual works of mercy. And that will be, you can Google those and look those up.
Let us know. Please use the hashtag CTK Divine Mercy Sunday, so we can be able to see what kind of works of mercy that you guys engaged in, and we can share them, and we can be like, hey, that was cool, or maybe that was a new idea, something that you were doing today. So please share with us, let us know how it worked out for you.
For sure. Okay. So that's the challenge. That's the activity that we have planned for y'all. And other than that, I think that pretty much wraps up the video for today. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Don't forget to play the game, comment, win yourself a journal, and I guess other than that, we'll see y'all next week.
Yeah. Bye. Don't forget to like,
subscribe,
share,
comment, share.
comment.
I figured out how to do thumbnails now, so. But y'all have a good rest of your week, guys.